This semester, my practicum was at Rose Acres Elementary School in the Pattonville School District. I have the privilege of being placed in a 4th grade classroom. My focus student for this semester is named Joey. Every morning, after the Pledge of Allegiance, our class says the mission statement that they came up with together. The last line refers to the 7 habits that go along with being a leader in any school. Every student in the class also made their own personal mission statement. Joey's mission statement says, "I will come to school with a can-do attitude and all my tasks complete. I will also synergize with my friends and not talk to them while the teacher is talking. And when we play soccer after school, we will be sure to make teams fair." His mission statement refers directly to 2 of the 7 habits. In our class, Joey always has to get his thought in, whether he is told he can or not. During my whole group lesson this year, I asked a question and a few students answered it. I said "last thought" to a student and Joey decided to talk after her even though I told him to wait. Sometimes the fact that he always has something to say is nice, but other times it's just a thought that can wait. Joey loves to fit in with the rest of the class. Sometimes I'll see him sticking his head into conversations that he wasn't necessarily a part of. I think he does this so he can fit in with the others in the class. I see a lot of myself in Joey, and this is something I did when I was little. One of the things that I have struggled with Joey all semester is the way he sits in his chair. At the beginning of the semester, I caught him leaning back in his chair like this and immediately pushed his chair down flat again. I talked to my CT and she said it wasn't something she noticed right away. Now, if anyone in the class is caught sitting like this, they lose a proactive letter. Another thing I struggle with Joey is the amount of times he speaks out. As I mentioned before, he does it a lot, and I think it has something to do with his impulse control. Right now, my CT and I have a program put in place that is a combination of tally marks and the proactive letters that helps curb his blurting out. The proactive letters I have talked about thus far is a classroom management strategy that my CT and I have implemented in the whole classroom. Each time a student blurts out, either my CT or I tell them to cross out a letter on their proactive paper, which eventually leads to a lost dojo points. Class Dojo is a program for elementary age students and their classrooms. Teachers can put in positive dojo points, such as turned in homework or helpful in class. They can also receive negative dojo points though, like blurting out or talking out of turn, late or missing homework, or hurtful words towards others. This is Joey's Class Dojo summary. His highest week was a 92% positive week, and his lowest week was 2 weeks later at 70% positive. Of 14 weeks, Joey's average dojo points was 77.71% positive, which is not super great, but not terrible either. This is a picture of Joey's first trimester progress report from late October and early November. From the key on the first page, you can see that he is proud of what he marked with smiley faces and wants to work on what is starred. Joey is proud that he understands factors and multiples, as well as place value concepts of whole numbers. He marked that he wants to work on his self-control and following directions. Here is a report of Joey's accelerated reader progress up until this point in the year. Out of the 78 books he read, most were fiction and about half were chapter books, with the other half being a combination of picture books and nonfiction. With a 60% passing rate, Joey passed 77 of his tests, failing only 1. He isn't allowed to record the test for my CT unless he passes it at 80% or higher. This picture of Flash is perfect for Joey because he always seems to be reading a different book. Not only that, but he is also able to read up to 4 books at a time. He doesn't lose comprehension because of his fast reading speed, which would affect him in many ways if it were the case. Here's a picture from Joey's math journal from August 18th. This was the 2nd week of 4th grade. When I saw his journal, I was amazed that he was writing so many examples down, but conflicted about how it looks. Looking at these 2 pages, you really cannot determine what was going on or what he learned. All semester, I tried to find a way to help him with this problem, and by the end, I was successful. On this next set of pages from December 12th, You can clearly see a difference between his work at the beginning and his work now. His writing stays on the lines, and he creates squares to keep track of his examples. On a more serious note, Joey has gotten into a bit of trouble this semester with my CT. It has not yet gone to the principal, but if it persists, that is likely the next step. He and another student were out at recess, and some unkind words were exchanged. My CT handled it perfectly and did so without placing blame on any students, but Joey tried to brush it off. He did apologize, but it happened soon after again. Right now, Joey really has to work on stopping and thinking before he acts and speaks, as well as decide whether he is about to make a good or bad decision. Joey really is a good, smart, kind-hearted boy, and he genuinely loves to learn. I cannot wait to see what he has to teach me in the coming semester. Thank you.